Good morning, everybody. We've had a lot of people make food on Good Morning Idaho, but perhaps one person more than the others. Lori Renn from MyWickedWhisk.com. Welcome back to the show,
Thanks
Lori.
for having me again.
And you were one of the people who was pushing really hard to have the Cisco kitchen.
I know, I'm
come
so
in here.
excited.
You got a stovetop now.
This is my first time using the stovetop. I know that you've had a lot of people breaking it in, but I'm excited to use it for the first time.
It's ready for you now. And it's ready for something perfect for the holidays, something sweet, something tart, or it is a tart, I guess, that we're working up today, right?
So, I made this the other night for some of my girlfriends, but my friend Amy's birthday, and it was a big hit. Everybody loved it, and it's so easy. I know it looks decadent, looks hot. It's not. And another really good thing about this is you can make it ahead, pop it in the freezer, and take it out for the holidays. So you don't have to, and it's no bake. You don't have to bake it. No oven necessary.
Need a stovetop, but no oven.
Yeah.
All right.
So to make, it's a Oreo cookie crust, then it's got a layer of salted caramel, it's got a layer of chocolate ganache, and you can add toasted pecans if you like them. I think it really adds nice texture to it.
Because if you don't like pecans, something's wrong with you. So
right.
You gotta
and then a little fresh whipped cream dolloped on top. That's how we do it.
How do you make the crust? I see the pack of Oreos.
Crust, oh my gosh, it's so easy. You just use a pack of Oreos, and you can use any brand of chocolate cookies that you like. You take the whole package minus the two that you pop in your mouth.
Because you know you're going to,
right? You know you're going to do that. You can't open a package of cookies and not pop a couple in your mouth.
And I see you put them in a food processor.
Food processor, so you pulse that until it's nice and crummy, and then you just pour in, while it's chopping them up, you pour in 1 stick of melted butter.
Oh, okay.
And that is all.
Oreos and butter, that's it.
Yeah, and then so you take that and you stick it in your pie plate.
And you've got one here that showed how you've got it nice and flat, and you said that you just use a mason jar, just kind of pound it in there?
Pack it down
which
with
is what you did with that one, so that one's all done.
You can go ahead and buy your pre-made Oreo crust if you want to, but I really like the homemade. I think it tastes better. I think
it's fresher.
And it's more rustic looking, it's more homemade looking, it's much better. So the second layer, after you get that, you're going to pop that in the freezer for about 30 minutes to get it nice and solid.
And then head over to the stove.
And then you head over to the stove. We're going to make the salted caramel. And this couldn't be easier. I've got 1 stick of butter that's melted in a saucepan, and then I'm going to add 2/3 cup of dark brown sugar. You can use light brown sugar if that's what you have in the house, but I really like the flavor of the dark brown sugar. So then we're going to take that and just melt it together.
Okay. And then you need something to cream it up, right, in order to get the caramel and stuff?
As soon as this is all mixed up together and there's no granules in the sugar, you take it off the heat and you add 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream or whipping cream.
Okay.
Just, make sure it's the good, thick stuff.
Okay.
It's really good. So
and keep it off the heat, or keep it on the heat or off the heat?
And
with that cream?
You want the caramel to come to room temperature.
Okay.
And as soon as it comes to room temperature, when you're done,
which this one is.
Yeah, I made some yesterday, and that's at room temperature.
Just pour it on.
Pour the whole thing right there, and we're going to just take it out of that
Help
jar.
it out with that rubber spatula.
And
there we
spread
go.
it around. Then you want to pop that in the freezer for about a half an hour.
Which we're going to do, because we're going to have you come back and finish it off. But for right now, we can kind of, as they say in those old infomercials, set it and forget it.
Yeah, right? the next segment, we're going to do a chocolate ganache layer and some toasted pecans.
And you're going to have to define the word ganache in our next segment as well, because
I
think a lot of people don't know what that is. I didn't for a long time. So, got the caramel in there, popping it in the freezer, and then Jillian gets to come eat stuff. And
I'll save some for you.
Please
you know
do.
I'm good for it.
Please do. Flip over to Fox 9 to see that.
Well, things are smelling very, very sweet, and it's looking good. We've got Lori Renn of MyWickedWhisk.com in the Cisco kitchen with us this morning. Good to see you, Lori.
Hi,
nice to meet you.
It's so nice meeting you as well. I'm so excited you're here. You've been just a great addition to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know everyone here has raved about you. They love having you on the show. Today, what are you making?
Well, in the last segment, we started off making our, it's a chocolate salted caramel tart.
Okay.
You can make it in a disposable pie plate, so you can just give it to your neighbors and they don't have to return the pie plate.
Easy present.
Yeah, and if you want to give a nice little pie dish for
cute one too. I like that.
For a gift, you can make it in that. You can also make this dessert little single serving size.
The cupcake version.
You guys have called me the cupcake queen a few times, so I like to make everything into a cupcake, so you can do it in there too. In the first segment, we did the Oreo cookie crust, which is just a bag of Oreos minus the 2 that you eat, and a stick of butter melted and in the food processor. So you mix that up, pack it into a pie plate.
Okay.
And then we made the salted caramel sauce on the last segment, and the last layer is a chocolate ganache, and all the chocolate ganache is melted chocolate. You can use milk chocolate, you can use dark chocolate, whatever you like. So we do a cup and a half of melted chocolate with 1 cup of whipping cream.
Okay, what does the whipping cream add to it? Does that just make it thicker?
It makes it super creamy and rich, and it just, ganache is probably just one of the best things on the face of the earth. So we're going to mix this up really well, and then we pour it into the pie shell on top of the caramel that we've just chilled for like about a half an hour. And then we're going to pop it in, after the chocolate's on top, we're going to pop it into the freezer again for another half an hour. And really, then you're ready to eat. So I cut a piece out here. I put a bunch of toasted pecans.
Oh, good.
Pecans, I should say pecans.
I say pecans too. Now, when you're making your ganache, how low should you have this stove? Because I know it's easy to...
I did this over a double boiler, and you just want to simmer the water. You don't want it to be, it's just about an inch of water. You don't want it to be boiling or touching the bottom, because you don't want anything that's on the top of that's in the boiler to burn.
Right. People like me, I'm not a very good cook or baker. It's easy to burn.
Just do it slow. Slow is always the best way, on low, slow and low. And then as far as toasting the pecans, all you do is put it in a dry pan. You don't need any butter, oil, anything like that. And you turn it on about low to medium. And as soon as you start to smell the nuts, then you know they're ready and they're done. And it just brings out, the toasting brings out the oils, it brings out the flavor, it just tastes so much better. So you add those on the top of your tart, and then you cut it up and add a little dollop of whipped cream, and you're good to go.
That looks so good.
And you can do this in advance and keep it in the freezer, so you don't have, it's no bake, it's easy, you can do it in advance and have it for your holiday gathering.
I like your present idea too, I think that's really cute. Give them a nice little
who wouldn't want to receive this from their neighbor?
I know. Okay, we're going to have to try it. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And you have this website later on this,
I will put this recipe up on mywickedwisk.com as soon as I get my little baby off to school.
Let me try it. That's great, Lori.
You like it?
So good.
Good.
Some for me, please.
We'll save you some, Spencer, don't worry. I'm just going to keep on eating this. So good. All right, everyone. Well, it's 7:20 now. Lori, thank you so much for showing us this recipe.